Hey guys, JamesMCD Reviews here. Welcome to another cinematic bucket list. And today I will be revisiting the works of Leigh Whannell. For those who might not know, Leigh Whannell played Adam in the first Saw movie and was a writer for the first three. He first stepped into the director's chair in 2015 with Insidious Chapter 3. I have not seen any of the Insidious movies, but there is a new one coming out this year, so His next two directorial outings were Upgrade in 2018 and The Invisible Man in 2020. Both movies I've reviewed before, both movies I absolutely loved, and both movies made the top 10 list for their respective years. So to coincide with the release of his new film Wolfman, I thought it'd be fun to revisit these movies a few years later and see how well they held up. And not to spoil anything too early, but the answer is pretty damn well. Starting off with Upgrade. It takes place in what would be a near future in 2018, but honestly looks closer to now, rewatching it. And it stars Logan Marshall Green as Gray, a guy who likes working on stuff and getting his hands dirty and has a bit of an aversion towards technology. One night, he stumbles across this group of guys who murder his wife and leave him paralyzed. At first, he's ready to give up, but then this scientist offers to implant this experimental chip called STEM into his neck that will allow him to move his body again. At first, everything seems normal, but then the chip starts talking to him and helping him track down the guys that killed his wife, and it even starts taking over his body when he's in danger. So he has to find the people he's looking for while also keeping the device a secret from everyone else. I was so unbelievably happy with how well this movie held up. I really enjoyed it. I liked the look of it. I thought the world was very well realized. It kind of reminded me of Cyberpunk in how it was still modern but mixing in all of this advanced technology to where nothing felt really out of place. And it honestly felt a little bit more modern watching it now, seeing all the self-driving cars in the movie that are dead ringers for Cybertrucks, only these cars are better designed. The lighting and the color in this is very dynamic, and the cinematography is outstanding, particularly in the action scenes. They do a lot of really cool stuff once STEM takes over, basically having the camera move with the guy as he's fighting these people. And the choreography in these sequences looks great. It feels very stiff and robotic, while also making it very uncomfortable for Gray. And while I'm on that, Logan Marshall Green's performance in this is incredible. Not just emotionally, but physically. When he first gets the chip in, even before he gets into these big fight sequences, he still moves very stiff and patient like a robot. And the way they capture his discomfort in a lot of those early scenes is really great. I don't think the story is anything to write home about, but it does a good job in not taking itself too seriously. I mean, for Christ's sake, the villains in this movie shoot guns that are implanted in their arm. Like, that's cool. It does have a sense of humor, but it also remains fully engrossed in the world that it's in. And the ending to this movie is absolutely chilling. From the performances to the score, it's just so good. When this movie first came out, there were a lot of comparisons made to Venom, saying that it was basically that movie, but smarter and better. And those comparisons are still valid even today. I'd highly recommend either checking this out for the first time or revisiting it if you've seen it before, because it was still pretty awesome. I gave Upgrade a 4.5 when I first saw it, and honestly, I think it retains that rating. Next up is The Invisible Man. It stars Elizabeth Moss and is about a woman who is being stalked and tortured by her abusive ex, who everyone else believes is dead. Even though I liked Upgrade, I wasn't really expecting all that much from the trailers, but coming out of it, I was really impressed with how genuinely terrifying it was. And that is still the case all these years later. First of all, I love the concept of an Invisible Man movie told from the victim's point of view, and I think it's really well executed here. It plays into the psychological aspect of not knowing if someone is in the room with you or not. And when you add in the context that the main character was abused and is already kind of believed to be a bit crazy, it makes the scenes that play out all that much more harder to watch. The movie does a great job building tension right from the opening scene, and it just holds that all the way through, to the point to where even you as the viewer aren't quite sure if you're seeing things or not. I like how they modernized the Invisible Man as being kind of like a high-tech camera suit. I thought that was really clever, and it makes sense. It doesn't feel out of place in this universe, because they kind of establish early on that the ex-boyfriend is kind of an eccentric, like, crazy inventor, billionaire kind of guy. So it makes sense that he would just kind of be able to build this suit to stalk and torture his ex. But like I said, the true horror doesn't really come from the suit itself, but what he does with it. He gets into her emails and sends nasty shit to her family. He fucks with the people that she's staying with. He goes to every extreme possible to ruin this person's life. And the casting in this movie is great too. Elizabeth Moss is incredible at looking like someone who is just 100% stressed out all of the time. Seeing her freak out subconsciously makes you freak out because you don't want to see anything bad happen to these people. The cinematography in this is once again great. Leigh Whannell almost kind of makes the camera take on the persona of the Invisible Man at times, and it's really cool. They do a lot of creepy long shots of just staring at nothing, and it messes with your mind because, again, like I said, you're still confused as to whether or not something is there or not. During some of the more intense scenes, the camera moves with the action, similarly to how it did in Upgrade. And even some of the more subtle details and effects, like the cold breath or the footprints, it's just so eerie. I love it. The third act is admittedly kind of all over the place as it kind of falls into action thriller territory, but it's still really effective, and the build up to this point has been so good that you're still with it and you want to see this woman beat this guy. Of course, they do the thing of having characters not recognize that the obvious threat is really there and just assuming the person is crazy. And in a lesser horror movie, that would be kind of annoying. But I think it works better here because A, he's invisible, and B, she's been shown to be kind of mentally disturbed and crazy already, so it makes more sense here. Yeah, overall, I thoroughly enjoyed revisiting The Invisible Man. It was just as well crafted, just as tense, and just as creepy as it was when I first saw it. I definitely recommend watching this as well as Upgrade if you haven't already, and if I had to rate it, I'd probably give it a 4.5 out of 5. But anyway, that does it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments, have you seen either of these movies? Did you like them? Did you hate them? And are you excited for Wolfman coming out very soon? Let me know that stuff down below. I've got more videos coming real soon, but until then, be sure to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you can stay up to date on when I'm posting. Follow me on my social media, subscribe to my main channel. Everything you need to know will be in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.